I think that we're probably on our last video. And so we're going to add a couple more photos to our layout. And so I want to find an illustration actually. I Googled 1800s whaling ship illustration, and I found these options. I picked this one. It says it's the whaling schooner Amelia of New Bedford. I picked it really just because it's 1500 by 933, so I know it's relatively high resolution. So I like that. Some of the other ones also have some kind of grisly, people filleting whales, and I didn't really want those kind of images in my thing. So I saved that, and then I also want to find an ocean bottom coral reef image. I don't know. Ooh, sea floor maybe? Ocean floor. Okay, so let's see. So I'm looking for something that's really bright and colorful, but also this is going to be the whole width of our page, so this needs to be pretty high resolution. This one is 2000, but I think that I want something that's got more blue water, because I'm going to fade this into the blue and fade the blue into the paper, and I think this edge is too close to this blue. It's going to be too abrupt. And so I want something like this could work. It's got some blue up top. Maybe this one, maybe this one. Let's see what other things this suggests. That might not be bad. I think probably any of these could work. Let's see how many. This is only 700 pixels. Let's see what this one is. This is at 1200 pixels. That's a little bit better. So maybe we give this one a try and see if it's a JPEG. So I'm going to try to save this image, and it is a JPEG. It comes from Shutterstock. I can't believe that it doesn't have a watermark on it, but we'll try it. So I just called it Seafloor so I'd know what it was, and I put it in that same Moby Dick folder. With the whaling ship one that I just made. And then I'm going to go back to my InDesign file. So I'm going to add the ship right around here, and then the ocean floor is going to go back here, and hopefully the orange type here will still show up. Now that I look at this type, I'm looking at the space afters here. I kind of think because our type has gotten larger, the leading could get a little bit smaller. I'm going to select this type again. I'm going to go back to our character panel. And right now our type is on auto, which on 14-point type is going to be somewhere around 20 points of leading or something like that, I would think. Like 24 is more. And 20 is probably about what it was. I'm going to see if we can't go to like 18 or something. I don't want my ascenders and descenders to bump into each other, and so far they're not. It looks like I could even go to 17, 16. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, I like that a lot better. So I tightened up the leading on my pull quote. I think it looks much better this way. So I'm going to make it, I'm going to go back to my normal view so I can see my guides. And I want to make it an image box. So I'm getting my rectangle frame tool, that rectangle with the X through it. And I'm just going to make a box that's kind of roughly square, but I want it to be as wide as one of my columns. I know that that's probably hard for you to see because it's overlapping that, but that's where I'm going to bring my ship illustration in. So I'm going to go to File and Place, and I'm going to get my whaling ship and put that in there. And obviously it's much too large for this box, so I'm going to go to Fitting, tell it to fill the frame proportionally. And that even seems maybe a little bit small, and so I might grab the actual image and see if I can't enlarge it just a little bit. I'm going to go to Properties. Right now it's looks like it's 19.67. Bump it up to 25, and that's actually not terrible. I lose the type at the bottom, but I think that's okay. Maybe we'll leave it just like that. And then, but right now it is overlapping my column, and so I'm going to put a text wrap on this, and we're going to find our text wrap. Where did you go? Are you under object? No. Let's see. Are you under window? Oh, sorry. I do this all. Oh, there it is. So under window, text wrap has it. I thought it was. I was looking under type, but it's not a type option. It's its very own window. So we're going to get up the text wrap window, and in the text wrap window with the ship image selected, I might make it just a tiny bit bigger to show a little bit more of the water. By default, it's got no wrap, so I'm going to set a wrap around the bounding box, and so now you can see that as I move this photo or this illustration in line with my text, the text moves around it. And so I just put it in between these two paragraphs, so it's kind of up high, and it is wrapping, the type is wrapping around it. I could, if I wanted to, I could set a greater space. Like right now it's just on 0, and so it's using the space that's happening naturally in the lines, but I could put something like 0p3, and that's gonna just sort of give a little bit more space to make sure that nothing touches the side of that illustration. So that looks nice. So now let's put in our big photo that goes in our background. So again, we're going to use the rectangle frame tool. This time we want it to be bigger than our page, and so I'm going to start just a little bit off of the page, and I'm probably going to run it up somewhere right around the top of this boat illustration, but on the left edge, the bottom edge, and the right edge, this box goes outside of the paper, and then it goes straight across somewhere right below my drop cap C. And with this frame selected, I'm going to go to File and Place, and this time I'm going to put in my C floor image. So it looks kind of like that. Now this is not very good. It's covering up all my type, but we'll put it in the back. But before we put it in the back, we're going to make some adjustments to it. We might start by just making it a little bit less intense. So we're going to go to Properties, and we're going to adjust its opacity, maybe down to as low as 50%. So it's much softer now. We may adjust it further, but this gives us an idea. And of course, it's still on top of the type. We're going to put it under the type, and the type will become more readable. But we're going to add a fade across here, and that's one of our effects. So we're going to go up to Object and pull down to Effects. And then we have a couple of different, we've got a drop shadow here, which I'll teach you guys later. But we've got some basic feathers. We've got a directional feather, a gradient feather. I think we're going to start with the directional feather. And we want to click the preview so it shows us what it's doing. And I believe we want our feather to be at 90 degrees. And then we want to adjust the distance of the feather. And let's see. I hope I don't have to redo this. So we said an inch was 6 picas, and so 2 inches would be 12 picas. So we may want to try 12 picas. So that's it on the left, which we don't want, or it's on the bottom with us. We want it on the top. So maybe I need to put this back on. I thought that I was supposed to turn that to 90, but I leave the angle alone and then just put it to top, and then that shows us that blend. So that's 12 picas. That's not bad. Let's do 3 inches. We'll go 18 picas. Looks a little bit more like that, and that's not bad either. let's stop right there. So this was the directional feather, 18 picas, leaving the angle at 0. So this is one way to do it. There's more than one way to do it. We can also do it with the basic feather. The basic feather will also give us some options for how long this feather should be, but this isn't bad. So let's see what happens now if I move this to back. So I'm going to go up to Object and Arrange, and I'm going to send it to the back. So I get something like this. Now this type, especially that orange, is simply not readable. So let's go to Properties, and let's try putting our opacity at something like 25%. Okay, now that's much better. So I don't know if we're all the way there yet, but this is much more, what's important. It's not important that we can see this image. This image is strictly decorative. It's much more important that this text is readable. So we just kind of play with it. We try 20%. Text is more readable. I can still see the image. Let's see what happens at 15. So 15 is not bad. The text is perfectly readable. The orange is readable. It even kind of goes with the colors of these goldfish that are back here. I've got a couple of fish that I can see clearly. I've got the texture of the coral that I can see clearly. So I kind of think I'm going to stick with that 15%. So it's really, really subtle. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit, and I'm going to go back into preview mode so that I'm just seeing the type without all of the guides. And I've got my headline, my byline, or who it's by. I've got my illustration of my ship and my decorative coral background, my pull quote, my drop cap. So this isn't bad. Let's finish it off with one last thing. So I'm going to go back into normal mode. I'm going to zoom into the very bottom and align to our right-hand guide, and on this half-inch margin, I just want you to put your name, and I want you to make your name kind of small, 10 points, something like that. We'll make it aligned to the right so it's on that guide. We'll make sure that the top edge of it is on the guide, so I'm just going to bump it down just a little bit, something like that. If you want to get fancy, we could put it in italic or something like that. But we've got a little footer with your name at the bottom, so when you turn it in, it's clear to me that it's yours. And we'll go back to preview. Number of ways to save this, and we should be saving the InDesign file regularly. So I'm going to go up to File and Save. You are probably going to want to upload a JPEG, and so to do a JPEG, you're going to have to export. But the other thing you might want to do is a PDF. PDFs will also, and so these are both under File. About halfway down, we've got PDF presets, and we can just do a high quality print and save it as a PDF. You don't really have to do anything. Hit save and export, and it's going to warn you that there's overset text. It's talking about the text that's running out of this text box. So you just say OK, and we've got a PDF that should look perfect. And then I'm going to go to export, and I should be able to get a JPEG here. There's some other options as well, but we want JPEG, and I'm just going to call it, I'll leave it this name, Moby Dick JPEG, put it in the same folder. I'll say save, and then you can upload that JPEG to Canvas once you're finished. And that's it. Good luck, and I will talk to you guys later.